Hello, hello. Happy
Good
Monday.
Good morning.
How's it going?
We came in a little sassy this morning.
I know.
We?
Yeah, everybody sat down, and it's like, what was it?
Rawr!
What was Rick's last statement that got us going?
Oh,
we're not giving every monkey a flamethrower.
And then I said, "Let's do it.
let's do it."
I'm at the point where, let's do some apocalyptic behavior. Monkeys and throwers.
Okay. Well, happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Right here, smack dab in the middle of February.
Yes. What day is it?
President's Day.
What physical date?
It is the
this is 16th.
16th. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, there we go. How was Valentine's Day weekend? You and Reese get up to anything?
It's funny. We've never been he's more the romantic one between the two of us, and I'm the dude in that capacity. But when you have a kid, she loves celebrating and holidays, and so it's fun to see that aspect of it. But we actually went to Six the musical.
Oh, nice. I saw that in Vegas.
Oh, did you?
Yes, that was one of the three that I saw. What'd you think?
I thought it was good. Reese is like,
no,
cool.
not in Vegas, in New York, on Broadway. Sorry.
Awesome.
Why did I think Vegas?
I don't know, either one.
All right.
But we're like 80 minutes. That is a perfect time to go to the theater because don't have a huge attention span, right?
Yeah.
But no, I thought it was great. Alex loves musicals.
Did you have a favorite wife?
Yes. The German one.
Okay.
The one who they ended up getting divorced because she wasn't pretty enough. But
Oh,
she
yeah.
ended up,
She came up. Yeah.
Yeah, but she's the last one to laugh because she got all the money and had her own mansion and didn't have to deal with a man.
Didn't have to do anything.
I know.
Yeah.
So it was pretty funny. Actually, Reese and Alex looked over at each other and said, "That's you."
That's the one.
That's the one.
I pick her.
Yeah. So no, that was great. And we did that, and then we hung out at home and just had a little time with each other. What about you guys?
Well, we also don't usually do Valentine's Day. We're like, okay, it's overpriced, it's busy. Like people are trying to they know that you feel this need, but we really gave in this time. I think it came down to at Christmas, we usually don't do gifts for each other. We do like vacations or experiences.
Okay.
But we were at Christmas and we didn't do anything for each other. And it was like that time at Christmas where the couples or they were giving each other gifts and we didn't have anything. And Kat just made her sad.
Oh,
so we're like, I know. So I was like, okay. At this Valentine's Day, we'll do something. So I got her this bookshelf that we've walked past I got her some flowers. Okay. Flower-Rama, shout out. They made Flower-Rama right here. Yeah, they did a great job with the bouquet. And I got her this bookshelf she's been eyeing forever, and she got me concert tickets for something in July, which we have to put on the calendar because the last time we got tickets to that, we just completely that far in advance. We went right through it. We didn't even.
That's hysterical.
Yeah. We took my niece out to Valentine's Day breakfast.
I did,
and
see
that was probably my favorite part.
Yay.
of the weekend. We never get a lot of time with just one of the nieces or nephews, right? So it makes it special for them where it's just time with them.
I love it.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And that was it. Watched some Olympics.
Yeah.
That's about all that's going on.
I love it. We ate a big old ribeye that would have cost $200
Oh,
out.
we did go to our favorite. We went to Cavino's.
I saw that. And
That's our favorite Italian place, and so they don't take reservations, so you just have to show up and wait.
I know, it's just old school like that.
It's awesome. I love it. I love the place.
Yeah.
So, anything on the docket that you wanted to talk about today regarding Plano real estate? Anything before I dive in?
I think you were kind of excited because you got to go to something this weekend or last week, and I would actually like to hear what that's all about because that was something new.
On Thursday, the City of Plano economic development folks have been kind of pushing this announcement for quite some time in class, like Stephen Cottingham, who's kind of running some of this.
Sure.
At least he's my direct point of contact, has been coming into the chamber every week talking about SizeUp. And I got to be honest, I didn't know what SizeUp was. It was just like, hey, it's this cool tool that we're going to make available to all people in Plano free of charge.
Wow.
And so I went kind of like going to watch a movie without going to see any of the previews or anything. I went into this meeting blind with a lot of city council members were there.
Okay.
It was at the Haggard Library, which is my favorite Plano library.
It is a nice library.
It is a very nice library.
Yeah.
They've got a whole video equipment place. You could probably put together a podcast like this with the gear in the Plano library for free for the cost of a library card.
we don't talk about those type of things enough.
Or
where-
the Libby,
yes.
the Libby app, all the books. My wife reads all. It's a real sidebar on Plano Library System because it's incredible. We use both an app that is, and I forget the name of it. Oh my gosh, it starts with a C, I think. It's on. It's
I don't
on
know.
all
I don't
the-
read,
So
Tanner,
yeah,
so
it's
that's-
on. It's on our smart TVs now. It's through the Plano Library. It's all like movies and shows and stuff, like older
Amazing.
shows. And she reads all of her books. She's reading Game of Thrones right now, and she's checking out the books through the Libby app, through the Plano Library. Doesn't cost her a dime. I'm still here on Audible like an idiot.
Oh.
And she's like, you don't have to do that. Like, it's all right here.
That's
for
another app and
free.
another login for me,
Yeah.
though, as we were trying to figure out our
Yeah.
Facebook logins to
Right.
connect this earlier. So,
Yeah.
no, I hear you.
Anyway, we're at the library, and they start talking about this app called SizeUp, and
Okay.
basically, in a nutshell, it is big data crunched down into insight for small businesses and for individual consumers.
Okay.
So it's a really simple to use website. I'm going to give you that website several times here in the next 30 minutes. So if you happen to tune in, you go and play with it. Because even if you just like playing with information and learning more about your city, like, it's awesome.
So what is if it's just like on a base level, what's the big difference between like something like this and like Google Analytics or something else like that? Is it just charting your performance? I mean, is it, well, I mean, maybe I'm jumping the gun.
There's a lot of tools available, and I'll just talk about what I've been using it for, because I'm kind of still scratching the surface. And as I uncover and discover new ways to leverage the data, I think I'll just kind of check in and be like, hey, I found a cool new thing.
Okay.
Because right now, as a consumer, this weekend it was Valentine's Day, and I was trying to figure out where I should get flowers for my wife.
Okay.
Right. And I was looking at jewelry stores too, because I didn't know what I was going to do. And I was running around town.
No, not at the last minute,
Not
Tanner.
at the
Like
last minute.
good
Well,
little husband.
So we weren't going to do anything. And then she told me that she did something like in the middle of last
Kat
week.
did it.
Kat did it. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, I'm not going to be outdone on,
No, you
on
can't be.
Yeah. So
Sure.
anyway, so I'm running around town and I said, hey, I want to find a local jewelry store.
Okay.
So there's a place here that says shop and eat local. If I get started, I can look up any industry I want. That would be a fencing contractor, a plumber, an electrician, a daycare, any type of small business. So let's just look at coffee shops, because that's pretty easy. We'll look at coffee shops. Coffee and tea products. Coffee shops is an option. I can say explore these businesses, and it will show me every locally owned coffee shop that is registered in Plano. You'll notice there's no Starbucks, there's no Dutch Brothers, there's no anything else. These are all registered businesses.
Shout out to Mudleaf. Do you ever go to Mudleaf?
I do. So like if I click here, so I click number 4 because I knew where Mudleaf was.
Right.
It's walking distance to my house.
Yeah. And it's so cute. Such an eclectic
so
little
it
shop.
tells me the address. It gives me a phone number. Gives me their website.
Okay.
It shows me how many years they've been in business and private ownership. So I can also filter this data if I want to include woman-owned or minority-owned businesses if I want. So if that interests you, if you want to support minority-owned or woman-owned businesses, but this works for any industry. So it's a great starting point. If I want to shop local and I want to eat local, here's an opportunity to do that. You keep saying, like, it's so hard to find like local brands. Like, everything's like corporate. When you walk in, you're like, it feels like it's a local brand, but you start talking to people, you're like, oh, there's, Boss Daddy's out of Chicago or something, right?
No, I think that's great, because even though we have all of these things at our fingertips, you're absolutely right. We need to be able to refine the data immediately when I need it. So if I'm going on Google or ChatGPT, which, all these AI products also are not perfect, and because we are feeding the information and we're not feeding it accurately all the time. But I had Chris Carrillo, who's actually the new-ish CEO of Netris, he texted me and he said, where's a cool spot that I can take my wife for lunch? This was on Valentine's Day. I'm like, way to wait last minute, and it's 12:45 p.m. But I immediately was trying to look for something cool and eclectic. He wanted something different, right? With a neat vibe. And you go to Google, you go to these other things, and it's hard to discern, is this actually going to be an experience, or is this a corporate-owned chain franchise kind of situation? So that would have been a great opportunity to be able to use that.
Learn a little bit more.
I love that.
Find some local businesses.
Okay.
So there is. Let's see if I can get in here, because I was looking at. We'll go back into coffee shops. I was analyzing demographics. So if you are a small business owner and you want to learn more about an area or the population of your area, this drills down to like the neighborhood or the small, like really granular data about age groups or where they spend their money, what they spend their money on, demographic breakdown on race distribution, household income, who's employed and not, number of housing. And I can not only drill into this by, let's look at population density, by area. You see I zoom in, I can see by neighborhood. This is just population density, right?
Wow.
I can go in by neighborhood. I can zoom in and change different categories. So let's see like where are all like the distribution of my 65 plus on my older folks, right? And it will refresh this graph with saying like 0 to 76 people live in this little block all the way up to here's where my high density 65 plus people are. I can break it down like very granular data around who's making money, where are they spending their money. It literally breaks down on like
That's
where.
amazing. And for small businesses that have very little staff most of the time and tools and resources, because the small businesses generally are not just entrepreneurs, they're operators, so to sit there and you get granular into operations and trying to make people happy. But that's amazing.
It is enterprise insight for small businesses at the cost of free $99.
Okay.
Thanks to the City of Plano's economic development folks. So
That's
huge
amazing.
shout out to them. I didn't realize even through the presentation, I was still trying to get my head around the data and what you could do with it.
Yeah.
And I've spent hours over the past.
I know you have.
Oh, just drilling in.
I immediately went to, how much time did you spend with Kat after you found out this website existed?
Somebody who deeply cares about like the local, this local community, this gave me visibility that I never had.
That's awesome.
And so it's really great. I'm just really, really proud of our, it just seems like the city kind of steps up in ways like this all the time. And whether it's like, you talk about the library system being great or Parks and Rec being great, or the folks that are just trying to make sure that small businesses don't get squished out. As we see a lot of corporate, I talk a lot about corporate relo and the fact that we are such a attractive area for corporations because of all the great things we offer and everything. There are still hundreds, thousands of small businesses here in Plano that could benefit from insight to their area.
Well, and it's funny because where people obviously went away from small independent businesses and went to the corporate infrastructure, right? Because of maybe they had better quality because they could afford to mass produce or bring something in. Their prices were more affordable. Convenience, everything else like that. But that's not the case anymore because even the large corporations are struggling with different financial issues. And so I saw somebody actually post a picture of their, this is not an indictment on Chipotle, but their Chipotle burrito where they got one burrito in the store and then ordered one on like DoorDash an hour later, and the DoorDash one was half the size. And it was so it was like, stop shrinking our burritos.
Shrinkflation, thing.
Well, that's what it was. It was hashtag shrinkflation.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. So I think what we're seeing now, and especially the younger generations, they really want an experience. They want something different. They might be willing to pay a little bit more to go to a mud leaf and to know that their coffee is being created with care and concern, and people are smiling that they're in there, and they want that it's an environment that they actually want to stay and chat a little while, and so they're willing to spend more. Just like we talked about, where Alex, my kid, is pushing back from streaming,
the physical media.
She wants physical media. She wants that experience. She wants to touch it. But I think this is great because we can be idealistic. But if these businesses can't physically stay open, then they have to shut their door. So to be able to emphasize this, and I could see you wearing a cape and introducing this to your favorite small businesses and sitting down and saying, hey, I know you're probably not going to figure out how to use this on your own. So why don't we sit down together and I'll show you what you can do with a website like this to help you guys.
Oh, looking like general. I did already played with this.
I know you did. I know you did. You're smiling.
I created a profile for like my general contractors and saying like, oh, here's where they spent most money on like household items within the last like year or something. So it's a very cool tool. The physical media stuff is really interesting. Me and Kat just got on that as well. We think we're going to probably. we've got a Josie's Records right next to us. So we do the physical media on like the old school, more like collecting.
Sure.
But I think in the like starting to buy like DVDs again, going to like half price books and like just finding like little gems here and there and just building the library again, because I am so sick of trying to figure out. And now it used to be easy for a second where you could Google like a movie and it would tell you where to see it. Right.
And then, we were at Target yesterday looking at stuff. She had some birthday and Christmas gift cards that she wanted to blow through. And so we were looking at it, and was it Five Nights at Freddy's? Have you seen that movie? It's about the killer animatronics. It's like a Chuck E. Cheese riff.
Okay.
And so it's a horror lore and everything else. Well, it was a game, and then they came out with the first one a couple years ago, and then the movie, and then they came out with the second one. And she said, it's so stupid because I wanted to watch the first one before Dad and I went to the theater to watch the second one, and they took it off streaming, and then you had to buy it.
They'll gatekeep it from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, strategically gatekeep certain pieces of content.
Yes.
And it's intentional, and they trade it around from streaming services to keep you having to change or have everything. So they've created this need for us to have, like, we used to just be like, oh, are you like Netflix or Hulu? Right? Like you had like your
No, now you have to have all of them.
They really created an environment where you have to have all of them in order to have like a well-rounded like media experience.
And you used to sit there and say, I'm not going to spend $140 a month on my DirecTV anymore.
And here we are.
And now I'm probably spending more because I have every premium subscription because I do not want to see a 30-second ad.
Plus YouTube TV or whatever your streaming service or whatever your service is for live TV, right? I had to buy Peacock this for the Olympics and the Super Bowl, and like I wanted so anyway, just as upset about that.
I know.
There's nothing to change it. I mean, I feel like you're just shouting into the void at this point because there's no way to like steer this ship a different direction.
I don't know. I mean,
I think rebellion.
Well, that's what I was about to say. I mean, anarchy. We were talking that before, but I do think if the people that are actually buying and subscribing and watching these shows and these movies and consuming the media change their behaviors, then they're going to be forced to. I mean, look at the progression of Blockbuster to Netflix was a DVD subscription service.
Oh yeah,
right?
I remember. I tried to explain that to my wife about like how Netflix would like when they came out with you had to subscribe to 2 DVDs at once because one was in the mail and they wouldn't send you the next one until
it was nuts.
So yeah.
So, but going back to that, I mean, I think I talked about that. We're going back to like watching our shows live with Alex because those were experiences I remember as a family being able to get excited and go to the sofa and let's watch it live all together and everybody go to the bathroom on the commercial break, right? And doing that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I think people are sitting there and saying we've taken all of the experience out of everything because the instant gratification has just overwhelmed every aspect of our life. And I think we're saying we want to slow down again. I mean, I think that's what us. I mean, I know I want to slow down. I'm about to be 41 years old, but I do. Instead of picking up a phone and something instantly happening, I guess is I still want some of that, but I want the experience back.
For that. We were the ones that said, I want the convenience. I want to order DoorDash. I want Uber. I want Amazon next day delivery. I want all, and like the price the cost seems to be some of the control and the control over our own content, the control over it, and the average quality of the things that we're receiving, because there's this distance now between the consumer and the producer of that good or service, right? There's a buffer where they feel like less connected or responsible to deliver a good product.
Well, and I think, so as you were talking about the other apps that I use on a consistent basis, I want to get more time in my day, but why do I want more time in my day? And what do I want to do with that time? I want to do something fulfilling. I don't want to go to the grocery store and take 2 hours out of my day because those 2 hours then need to be more meaningful. So I'm going to Instacart my groceries because that's just more leverage and that's something smart to do. The flip of that is I might still buy a steak, grass-fed organic steak, even though they probably lied to us on the labels there. But I don't do that with my butcher. I'm still going to go see my butcher, right? Because you're talking about the producer, the people that are doing that. You know where your meat's coming from. You know, hey, and your butcher knows you. Ashley, I'm getting like really good pork chops in next week, so make sure you come back on Thursday. And then you plan your meal around what your butcher's bringing in, right? I mean, that's giving and delivering an experience that people still want. They want that quality experience. And I think for businesses too, this is something where it's a game changer. Instead of sitting there and saying, how do I make more money? How do I deliver a service that penetrates through all of the noise and where people are saying, I want more time, I want more instant gratification, but what is that deliverable that you can give them that they say, but I'm going to take 30 minutes out of my day and I'm going to go to the record store. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to Mudleaf instead of, door dashing Starbucks to my house. And so Mudleaf has done a really good job. It's the most, as far as I'm concerned, the most well-known independent coffee shop in Plano. They have a little conference space. They have, different types of chairs and seating you can sit in depending on what you're doing. It's cozy.
It reminds me of, if you want, that's at Independence and Parker, right? If you want to go on, is it, 1419, 14?
I haven't been to that one, but I've seen it.
Okay. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about in downtown. So similar vibe, like it's a cozy vibe, like very similar. So if you're, depending on which side of town you're on, just give it a couple options.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think those are the things where it's like, you got to lean in. Like what's your niche that you're going to sit there and somebody says, somebody says, can we go have a cup of coffee? I just want to sit down and talk with you. I don't necessarily want to go to lunch or anything else. Yeah, I'm going to go to Mudleaf to do that. Or I'm going to go to 1419 to do that because that's an environment where they want you to have community. And so I think these businesses all around Plano and not even just Plano, whatever we're doing, we're delivering. So we're here in StudioUSA right now. There's a ton of people that have, their own cameras, or we all have our own camera, can be, doing recording and doing everything else. What does StudioUSA give us? They give us community. They give us resources. They give us talent to help us do different things. And then, of course, we have
Rick and Austin.
Yeah, I mean honestly, that's the difference when I'm talking to people. Well, who do you use for your listing photography, or who do you do all your videos with? Well, can't you just do it yourself? I actually had an agent. I was at the Texas Realtors Conference. She's from San Antonio, and she's a big property manager. And she came to me and she said, I love watching your videos and you are so consistent. I spent $40,000 last year on setting up my own podcast studio and got a podcast coach and all of these other things. And she said, I'm exhausted and I haven't even piloted but like 1 or 2 episodes. She's like, I got sick, work got in the way, all of those other things. And she was like, how do you do it? I'm sure you can't sleep. I said, one, the studio's 8 minutes from my house. So that's amazing. But I have a team of people behind me that keep me consistent and help me produce content and do all of those things. So yeah, anybody can go and buy expensive equipment, but who's going to help you create this environment? And I think that's absolutely amazing. And that's why I was so excited why you did BeLocal, because again, it wasn't you weren't sold a magazine subscription or anything else. You were sold something that would get people excited about being local again. And I know that's just something you've been passionate about since you became a Plano resident and then got so excited about being a part of this BeLocal community. But you're embodying that. So that's why I was asking when it started, what's the difference between like Google Analytics, for your Google presence on your webpage? This is hyper local, benefiting people, and our city actually cared enough to sit here and do this joint venture with SizeUp to buy back our time and to be local and to keep these businesses in place. And I think it's amazing. I went off a major tangent there, but it's what
great.
I do.
No, I think you tied it up nicely. So I think we'll call it a Monday. Thank you again, Ashley, for being here. And
hey, you know what? Thank you, Tanner, for caring about the community. You've only been a resident for less than a year.
We're coming up on a year.
You're coming up on a year, but to see you and Kat go out there and make people smile and, enjoying your different meals and you've really embodied, trying to be in the community and better the community. And I thank you for that. And thank you for being my friend.
Thank you. Oh,
I know.
Thank you.
Let's have a good Monday.
Okay.
All right. And hold on. And go give a monkey a flamethrower.
Go get the monkey. Go give every monkey a flamethrower. Let's go. Light it all on fire.
We'll see you next time, guys.
Have a good one.